Welcome to the pre-race interviews for the 8th competition in Ski Classics Season 14. The interviews will be streamed live on YouTube. We have 1.5 weeks ago, we had the first Grand Classics race of the season with Marcialonga. And next up is the second Grand Classics race, Jizerska 50 in the Czech Republic. And first we welcome Anton KARLSSON, Sports Director of Ski Classics. Hello, Anton.
Thank you, Morten. Hello.
This weekend, the second half of the season start. What are your impressions of the beginning of the season and a couple of days to go through Jizerska 50?
The feeling is good. We're already approaching the halfway mark here, and we already had the first Grand Classics event, and everything is working as it should. I think we've been overall very lucky with the weather also. And we have had many exciting battles. Of course, EMIL has been playing in somewhat his own league so far, but I guess the other guys are very eager to beat him. And for the women's field, I feel it's very open. Yeah, we're looking forward to the rest of the week, starting with Jizerska, Padesatka this upcoming weekend, of course.
Yes, and there will be lots of skiers, not just elite skiers, in the upcoming weekend. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes, they actually have a record number of participants in this event week, the whole week of Jizerska, with over 9,000 participants, which is very fun and nice to hear after the pandemic here, and seeing that these events are growing again and people are coming back to the events. That's very important for the sports overall.
Can you tell us a bit about the snow conditions, the tracks, and the course?
Yes, we start with the snow conditions, which are at the moment perfect. We've had good weather now in the week here, cold conditions and dry snow. We might expect a little bit of what's it called? Rain or snow this weekend. We will see what the prognosis says. We hope for the best, of course, but in overall, the organizers has done a super job and the course is ready for racing. Let's take a look at the map and the race course. So we have then a 50-kilometer course. Start point and the finish point is at the same place in the Bedřov area, just outside of Liberec. Special thing for Jizerska is this hard start. It's not one of those events where you can come to the race and not be prepared to go full speed from the beginning. It's a 10K uphill towards the first climb, which is called MAGNI, which is super nice climb, and then we have a little bit of an easier session going back to Jizerska for the sprint. And then we go back again to the SMEDÅS, where the Smutna Luka hill starts for the second climb. Then the last part of the race looks quite easy, but it's one of those areas where you have to push really hard all the way down to the finish in Bedřov again. So that's the map for this upcoming race. We should also mention, of course, that this is the second out of 4 Grand Classics events.
Great, Anton. Do we have any questions from the audience to him? And if you want to ask questions, yes, Anders.
Hello, Anton.
Hi, Anders.
You're starting women's ahead at this race. What's the argument for that, and why are you doing that?
It's about also that they have a lot of start groups, and it's also about when the last start group come back to the turning point here after like 2K, when they need to be able to pass there. And we're also trying to make them the men pass in between the first climb and the sprint. And this is, of course, a decision not just by us, but also by the LC. We're doing our best to secure the best possible outcome for both the men and the women's race.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have other questions to Anton? If not, we will proceed. Thank you very much, Anton, and then we will proceed to meet the 8 of the favorites for Sunday's race. And we start with the latest winner of Ski Classics race. So welcome, MAGNI SMEDÅS.
Thank you very much.
How are you? How has these last 1.5 weeks been since you won in Cavallese?
I'm fine, thanks. It's been nice to come home to Lillehammer and just calm down, have some time of my own, and to sort of land again. I feel like I was quite high on life after Marcialonga, so I needed a few days to just get back to earth and, yeah, just have some MAGNI time.
You said in the interview afterwards that you were supposed to eat a lot of Haribo. Have you done that?
Absolutely. I've eaten a lot of Haribo. Actually, so much that I'm getting tired of it. And that's not good news for the rest of the season because I will be eating a lot of Haribo the rest of the season too. But yeah, it was nice to come home and just relax and eat some salad again. We're not supposed to eat that much greens before races. So it's been nice to have some Norwegian food again and just enjoy.
Can you take us through your Marcialonga? When did you feel that you actually could win or even would win?
I wasn't sure at all before the last finish hill. But I was a bit surprised when I realized that it was only me and Anniken left after Predazzo, the sprint there. So I knew I had good chances. I have a strong finish, but I also know that Anniken is very strong. So I was excited to see how strong she would be. And then I was a bit surprised that she couldn't keep up in the last kilometer before the hill because I didn't feel like I was pushing very hard at that particular point. But I felt really strong, and then I just kept on focusing on my own technique and to not get so eager about winning, but just calm down and do my job. And then I felt sure when I came up halfway the hill and heard that I had 40 seconds back to Anniken. So it was really, really nice. It was a magical feeling coming up to the last finish, or to the oppløpet. I don't know what we call that in English. But the last meters of the race, it was amazing.
If I read right, this will be the debut of Jizerska for you this weekend. What does that mean with the tactics, not knowing that much about the race?
I'm very excited. I have only seen the tracks on the TV before, so I don't know what will actually meet me out there. But I'm really looking forward to it. I think I'll just try to look at the others and learn from them during the race. Now it'll be interesting since we're starting 8 minutes before the guys to see if we can keep up with them when they come. But if the conditions are hard out there, it'll definitely be some tough kilometers in the start since we're going first in the tracks. So I'm not sure about the tactics yet, but I'll definitely do my best, and I feel that my shape is still pretty good. So I have a positive feeling about this weekend.
Great. So questions to MAGNI, and we have one from Leandro.
Hello, MAGNI.
Hello.
Hey, what kind of training are you doing during this 2 weeks break? It's more to maintain the form, or are you building up for any particular race?
I have started to try to build up towards Vasaloppet. So I had a few days off, and then I started to train again, and I've been training a lot this past 4 or 5 days. So just a lot of longer sessions, trying to keep up my speed. So a large volume of training, and then I'll try to not train so much towards the weekend to have a bit of a shape on Sunday. But for me, Vasalopp is the biggest one, so I have to look forward for that one and then, but hopefully I can do good in Jizerska and Orsa as well.
Great. And I saw your name on the start list for Friday's sprint. How do you feel for that, since you are a good sprinter?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the sprint. I haven't raced a sprint since since the World Cup Lillehammer before Christmas. So I feel that the sprint is perfect race prep for me. So it'll be super cool to race a sprint again and just, see if I still have my power.
Okay, thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leandro. And Anders, SVT, please.
Hello, Magni.
Hello.
You've been telling us that you last year had some problems with cramps. It was a long distance in Marcialonga. Did you feel anything like that this year, or is it a problem that you're solved?
Well, during Marcialonga, I didn't feel any cramps, so I'm really satisfied about that. But during Pustertaler, I had some strong cramps in the end there, so I'm not sure if I have solved the problem yet, but I'm definitely getting closer to something, I think. I think the big test will come in Vasaloppet.
Okay. Now you've been winning a ski classic race. Do you think that will change your performance and your self-confidence entering new races?
I'm not sure. Yes, I did win, but I still feel like Ida is a very strong competitor, and Emilia is probably back. So, yeah, but I think I have become a bit more offensive. No, what is it called? Help me. Offensive?
It's good. That's good.
Yeah, okay. So hopefully I can be up in the front and push them a bit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we have other questions? Yeah, Ina.
Hello, Magni.
Hello.
Your teammate Morten Eide Pedersen has won the race 3 times before. Have you get some tips from him before the race?
Yeah, we have been discussing a bit. I think we will be discussing even more tomorrow, maybe when we leave for the Czech Republic. I'll definitely ask him for some advice because he's very, like you said, he's won it 3 times. He knows the tracks in and out. So it'll be good to have him on my team to give me some good advices before the weekend.
And you say you're going to check out tomorrow. Can you take us through the Friday and Saturday before the race? What are you doing before the race?
Well, on Friday evening, I'm racing the sprint. I'm using that as my race prep this time. And then on Saturday, I'll only do ski tests and to go through the most important parts of the track. And then the rest of the day, I'll just be relaxing, eating more Haribo, and try to gain some extra energy for Sunday.
And my last question. You said you have increased your training and a little bit more volume. Do you have some tips to how you can maintain your fitness in between the most important race?
Well, I'm only trying to do what I know has worked for me before. And it's very hard to go an entire season without having any periods where you train more to maintain your shape. So this has worked out for me before, to have some volume and then to lighten up on the training in the last weeks before the important race. But I think we'll see on Vasaloppet if my plan has worked or not.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Magni. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And next up, we have a duo from the Czech Republic, FABIÁN ŠTOČEK and SANDRA SCHÜTZOVÁ of VLTAVA Fund Ski Team. Hello, Fabian. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. Is Sandra there as well, or?
So she'll come in the later entry,
Okay.
like around right before 4. Yeah, if that works. But we'll do it together then as well. Yeah.
Okay. Great. So we're halfway through the Ski Classics season. What do you say about your start? The best performance so far is 22nd in Pustertaler.
Yeah, for me, I've been very surprised with my season. I didn't think I would do that well, and so being a top 30 skier for me is a new territory. I trained a little bit differently, so I'm excited about this season. Definitely pretty stoked, even for this race coming up.
And you are the one, I don't know if you're the one competing the most, but you compete a lot at least. I see that you competed twice every weekend since the Toblach weekend. You did also after La Diagonela, you did the Dolomitenlauf, and last weekend you won one race in König Ludwig in the free technique, and you were third in the classical race. How come you compete that much as you do?
Yeah, so I was fourth in the Sunday race. So Berchtesgaden had outland ski at the end, but no, it was fun for me. It's part of the training, so I had fun racing. And honestly, for me, I live in Munich, so it was 1 hour away. I would have gone training and would have done a long distance training anyways. This way, I could do intervals and basically have race prep as good as it was. And at this season, I have a bit more free time as I'm writing my dissertation. So I decided to just go all in and try to do as many races as I can, because it's fun.
And that you did even the freestyle race. What was the reason for that? It was mainly good training, or?
Yeah, mainly good training. So as I said, I would have gone down there anyways to ski, do a long ski, and that way it was nice to see friends. And I like the race itself. Done it a couple of times before, and there is also the prize money, so I cannot hide that. That was also good motivation for sure.
About Sunday, then you will do your 6th start in Jizerska. What do you say is this the most important race for the year as a Czech skier?
Yeah, for me this season, for sure. Yeah, definitely the most important. I would want to be on the podium for the Czech, for our own Czech category. So afterwards they do a top Czech. So I would like to have that. I haven't been the best Czech in the Jizerska. For me, that would mean a lot. So that's my biggest focus for the season. Yeah. So all preparations have been going towards that. Yeah.
Do we have questions to Fabian? Leandro.
Hello, Fabian.
Hi.
You are racing on home ground now with the public on your side. Do you think it helps you or brings more pressure to your performance?
Sorry, racing with what on my side?
With the public.
Oh, I see. As a Czech national.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it brings more pressure in a good way. So it's nice to see everybody cheering, and I mean, my parents are around, and lots of people I grew up skiing with around here as well are in the race. And yeah, in Czech, it's one of the bigger sporting events overall. So people are excited, and there is a nice atmosphere around here. So I think it helps. The pressure helps.
And what do you think is the most important part of Jizerska now? What's the most challenging part of the race for you?
So the most important for the race itself only, and most challenging together probably is the first uphill towards the climb. So I've always dropped off from the first group there. So that's my biggest challenge, is to stay with the first group off and over the climb. I think that's going to be the crux of the race for Sunday, for me at least. Yeah.
And if I'm not wrong, you are a PhD student in neuroscience, right?
Correct.
How do you manage the life of a student training and racing all together?
Yeah, so far I have my own project going on. So I work with my electrophysiology setup and my virtual reality in Munich. And last few years I've had to spend a lot of time there and commit lots of time throughout the week. So I didn't have as much time to train, but now I'm only writing my dissertation. So this winter, as I mentioned earlier, I have a little bit more time. So I can be at these races a bit earlier and have more time to recover. So it's been a bit nicer. But in the past, it's been challenging. But because I have my own project going on, then that's been possible to combine it together. Yeah.
Okay, thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Do we have other questions? Anders from SVT, please.
Hello, Fabian. You've been attacking for sprints during the races this year. Is that your goal for this race as well, or are you going for the finish, best possible results in the finish?
Yeah, for this race, I will just focus on the finish. I think for me, the sprint in the back at Jizerska there, it's too hard to stay up there. And I have before at Diagonal, I wasted lots of my energy on some of the second sprints, and that's not always been worth it. And I think it was always a question, okay, it helps me 5 points at the finish or 5 positions, then okay, I go for the sprint anyways. It's good practice, because I think I need to have more practice for the finishing speed. I don't experience that as much. So for this race, it's only about the finish for me. I will not try for the sprint.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Do we have other questions? Fabian, I read that you moved to the US when you were 15 to study and to ski. How was it to develop as a skier in the United States?
For me, it was a formative experience. First of all, I got to learn the language. That was quite an advantage. And then I joined the ski team there at a university. The system there is much better, I think, than, for example, in Czech to do university sports, because you have a lot of support as an athlete. And so I still keep close in touch with the coach there. And the program there was one of the better ones. So I've been fortunate to ski with a lot of the US ski team members who then, started in the college and then went for that. So for me, it was an amazing experience, and I'm very glad I did it. Yeah.
And how many years did you spend there?
I lived there for 7 years. So I did 3 years of high school and then 4 years of college.
Is there a difference between the Czech way of skiing versus the United States way of skiing or training?
Well, for skiing, they don't have as many long distance races. They don't put as much of importance, except for the American Birkebeiner, for sure. For training wise, I think they had some different methodology. I was within some of the circles training sometimes with the T2 team. And they picked up some stuff from Norway and some stuff that they developed on their own with the sprinting that they got really good at, with Jesse and others as well. So I think they try to have their own niche, their own way of doing it, and I think it's turning out pretty well for them. I think they're all, as you can see on the World Cup, always very excited about stuff and try to get other people excited about it. I think it's a good way to do it as well.
So how will the last days until the start on Sunday morning, what will it look like? Will you do any competitions during the weekend as well, or how will you spend it?
Yeah, so I'm actually here already at Šámalova chata, which is like 5K into the race. So I can show you quickly from the outside. There is lots of snow here. Well, maybe you cannot see because it's blacked out. But and I am doing the 30K skate race tomorrow. So as a way of preparation, so it's my last hard effort, and then only doing Sunday. So I'm not doing the sprint. I used to do the sprint always, but I felt always that it took away too much energy for Sunday because the timing wasn't quite right. So I decided to do this K skate and then focus on Sunday.
Great. So thank you very much and good luck on Sunday then, and tomorrow as well.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
And next up is Thomas Bing. Hello, Thomas.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, well.
So you had a strong start of the season. You were 3rd in Bad Gastein and 8th in Marcialonga. What can you say about the start of your ski classics season?
We're very happy with this. First time podium for me. I didn't expect this, but I raced before some races in Continental Cup, and so I feel very good at the start of the season and lived long time and high altitude in front of. And so, yeah, the start was very good.
What can you tell a bit more about that podium position? What did it mean to you being on the podium in Bad Gastein?
Yeah, during the race, I had to decide to make full power on the track or stay with the group. And I think I decided right, to make full power and save the third place. And yeah, what does it mean for me? It shows me that everything is possible. And yeah, I have to focus on each race and have to see what I can do there.
Last weekend, you won the König Ludwig Lauf back in Germany on home ground. Can you tell us a bit about that race? I think you were 9 people in the sprint, and you won it.
Yeah, exactly. The race was a little bit easier than the normal ski classic races because there are not that many very strong guys there. Just 9 people in the leading group in the end. And my goal was to stay in the front on the last kilometer, because I know that the finish line is with some curves and not that easy. And so I make full power on the end, on the last kilometer, and yeah, it works. It was extremely short between the second one, but in the end, I was happy with this.
Of course. On Sunday, you will make your second start in Jizerska. You were 15th last year. What are your ambitions and hopes for Sunday?
When I look back to the last year, I remember that how can I say? I look at the track and I say, in front of, maybe this can be a good race for me. And then it was so incredible strong, this race. I can't hold the group, the first group and also the second group I can't hold. And so for this year, my goal, maybe I have to stay in the group, in the front group, and yeah, come over 50 kilometers, and then we will see.
Great. So do we have any questions to Thomas? Anders from SPT.
Hello, Thomas.
Hey.
Are you going for the championships this year, or are you focusing on ski classics from now on?
Yeah, I didn't qualify for the championships because it's just possible in the World Cup, and I just get 1 or 2 entries there, and so I'm very happy that I can stay much more in the FISMA ski classic, in the ski classics. But I'm not happy that I can't stay in the World Cup, and also a little bit sad that I can't start on the 50K in Planica.
I have read somewhere that you have a plan for the Vasaloppet, being the first German winning it. Is it something that you've been living with for a long time, or is it just a rumor?
More rumor.
Okay.
Yeah, last year to win the Vasaloppet is nothing you can do. Like, it's like this. It's every race is a new game, and when it is like the last year that so many people staying in the front group, it's for me, when I ski alone, it's very hard to fight against the teams from positioning and something like this. And I like more races when it is a little bit harder in the race and not that big group coming to the finish line. But to win the Vasaloppet is, yeah, the chance is not that big. But yeah, I have it every time I have to fight. It's more like this. It means more like this. I every time have to fight for it.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have other questions to Thomas? What is the main goal for you for the rest of the season if winning Vasaloppet is not the main goal?
The main goal is looking from race to race and yeah, finish on the best place I can do on this day. That's for me the goal. And in my future, I don't know exactly where where I stay next year. It's not that easy in Germany, I can say, with the financial situation. And so I have to look for race to race. And maybe I get a perspective for World Cup again. Or maybe I have to, if this doesn't work with the World Cup, I'm very happy that I can stay in the Ski Classics, because this is much more fun for me than in the World Cup. In the World Cup, it's much more work.
But when do you have to make that decision whether you should go for the World Cup or the Ski Classics? Do you have to do that before the season, or can you do that during the season?
I can't do this at my own. I have to see what the government say, what the DSV say to me. We have some strict rules in where which competition you have to make which places, and there are no Ski Classic inside of these rules. So if I make a very good Ski Classic, that doesn't mean that I can start in the World Cup. For me, I have to stay in Continental Cup if I want to qualify. And so after Jizerska, I compete in the Continental Cup in Campra. It's a good place there and a good time there, because no Ski Classic is there, and so no Ski Classic around in Middle Europe for me, and so it's a good place to stay in Campra, and then we will see which competition I can compete.
And that is to qualify for the World Cup races after the World Championships. Do I understand correct then?
Exactly, yeah, okay. Exactly. The qualification of the World Championships, it's closed last week with Topla.
Okay. I saw you in the start list for the double poling sprint on Friday evening, Orlen Benzina sprint. What are the plans and hopes for that competition?
Last year, I see that the prologue is necessary, extremely important. And so at the first, I have to make a good prologue. And then the distance is extremely short, but last year I see I can double pull fast on short distances. So hopefully this year I can do it the same like last year.
And the goal is to win, or?
The goal is to make a podium.
Okay, great. So how will you spend the next days, the last days until Jizerska, the Jizerska race on Sunday, except that competition on Friday evening? What will you do?
I have to run away from Oberhof, because biathlon World Championships is here, and yeah, if biathlon is here, it's not the best training you can have, because everything you need a little bit longer for everything. And so I want to stay since tomorrow in Czech, and then directly stay there in Oberwiesenthal for making a little bit training for the Continental Cup.
Great. So good luck for Friday and Sunday then.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Thomas Bing. And next up, we have Andreas NYGAARD from Team RAGDE Charge. Hello, Andreas.
Hello, hello.
You've been on the podium 3 competitions so far this season, 2nd in Lavenosta and Pustertaler, and 3rd in Marcialonga. What do you say about the start of the season?
Yeah, it's been a really good season opening for me. Not always do I just get podiums in the first races of the Ski Classic calendar. So yeah, satisfied with the start, but always aiming for more.
I mean, there is one man that has won every race, EMIL PERSSON. He is definitely the man to beat at the moment. What do you have to do different this weekend to beat him?
First and foremost, I need to be in better shape, but Emil, I don't think he has usually struggled a little bit in Jizerska. I don't think he have ever gotten in with me in Jizerska, so maybe I have an advantage in the Czech forest. So hopefully we'll have a good day and good skis.
I mean, Jizerska, as you said, it suits you really well. You won the last 3 times you skied the race, 2019, 20, and 22. Why does the race suit you so well?
Usually I tend to get in better shape coming down from the altitude and the January rounds. So the shape usually is quite good, and the long uphills and the course suits me, I think, and the finish sprint also suits me. I'm the heaviest guy in the front there, and that's a big advantage on the finishing straight. And there's no secret that we have had really, really good skis in Jizerska. Every year I've been skiing there. Maybe at least 1 notch above many of the other teams. So yeah, good skis in good shape. That's the secret.
Why is it an advantage to be the biggest one in on this sprint?
Yeah, because you come down in a really high speed and you are like in the speed position, hockey position, until it's maybe 10-15 seconds left to the finish line. So that's just gravity. So Newton's laws and so forth. So yeah, when you're a heavier guy, you are able to get more speed in the downhills. So that has suited me quite well in the past.
So do we have questions to Andreas? Anders, please.
Hej Andreas!
Hej!
När du ser tillbaks på Marcialonga, där du var väldigt stark på slutet, men är det på något sätt du hade kunnat gjort annorlunda, tror du, med den form du hade för dagen?
Jag är väldigt förnöjd med Marcialonga. Den formen
Andreas, please in English.
I'm really satisfied first and foremost with Marcialonga. There were at least 2 guys that were stronger than me that day. So if I could have done something differently, I would have tried to be top 10 through the last village, Molina. I got a little bit too far behind with Anders through the last city there. So when Runar pushed the pace up the river towards Cascata, I had to make up some ground. But luckily I had Karstein coming at the end there, making the entrance really well for us. But on Marcialonga, I have in the hill, in the Cascata, I couldn't have done anything more. I was totally kaput. And as I said, I think there were at least 2 guys that were stronger than me. I think, for example, Morten Ede Pedersen and Herman Paus, maybe Amund Rig also was stronger than me, but my positioning got me to the podium.
Do we have to expect some team efforts from Ragde this weekend regarding Emil Persson, since he's in such good shape?
I think we will for sure try to push the pace up to Nakneipe and Nova Luka, SMEDÅS hills, those 2 long uphills. But when Emil is winning Prato Piazza, I think his shape is good enough for anything. But hopefully we are stronger than we have been, even though we have been strong. And I think maybe Johan Hoel is coming back if things goes good the last day. So we need for sure to maybe use the team even more than we have done. To maybe if we just ski completely fairly with no tactics, Emil will beat us every time. So maybe we need to do some not the dirty tricks, but some tactics.
Okay. Last year you ended up winning Jizerska, and then you were very, very difficult to beat. Is it something that you feel is coming this season as well?
I have been hoping for that, but I have been struggling a little bit the last days. But it's something when the calendar shows February, and yeah, we are down at not sea level, but with a lot of oxygen available. The shape usually goes up in the air. So yeah, I think I was 2 seconds behind winning Marcialonga, and I never been that close before. So I think the possibilities are there, but I have to admit, usually on this day before Jizerska, the last years I always done an interval session which has gone really well, and then I always knew that yeah, the shape is there. But this year I haven't been able to do any interval sessions, so I'm a little bit more unsure of the shape.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Anders. Next up is Ine.
Hello, Andreas.
Hello.
You compete in a local race this Saturday in Norway. Why do you chose to compete this weekend between Marcialonga and Jizerska? And what do you get out for the competition?
Yeah, I'm a ski enthusiast, so I like to attend ski races when I can, and the ski races is really good training, so you don't have to go all out every time, especially if the competition isn't that high. So it was in an area I have never been to before. The course looked really good and the conditions were just stunning. So yeah, it was a local race, and yeah, it was an easy way to get some higher pulls and a good session in before Jizerska. So yeah, I think it's important to do ski races locally also, if just to show your face and to show that you are happy for organizers taking the job to organize ski races. So yeah, I like to do ski races.
And do you get some answers about your shape before Jizerska?
I think it was quite cold that day, so I didn't get any good answers. And since then I've been laying on my couch, so I thought maybe it wasn't the ideal thing to do, but at least it was good fun.
Okay. And how do you train now between the races? And you said maybe the Vasaloppet is one of your main goals. How do you train between this?
The plan was originally to train quite a lot after taking some easy days after Marcialonga, but as many times before, things doesn't always go as planned. So I have been taking it a little bit more easy than I wanted to and that I planned to. But hopefully Jizerska will be okay. Then I will train not really much. I don't believe in doing something crazy, but I will do a lot of training after Jizerska, and I will only do one race in Orsa, and I will go straight from Orsa to a training camp in Sjusjøen, and hopefully I can be at my best at Vasaloppet.
Thank you.
Which of the races in Orsa do you do? Have you decided that already?
Yeah, I'll do the Saturday's race.
Okay. And that's just to save the shape, or what is the reason for that? Or does it get too tough with 2 tough competitions in 2 days?
Yeah, I have just been on and off with sickness, I think, since the whole summer and autumn and even during this winter. So I think 2 races will be too tough for me, and with no ambitions in the overall competition, there's only Vasaloppet I'm focusing on, and then I think it's better to just do 1 race and recover really well after that and start a new good training block for Vasaloppet. So that's the reason. But I think if I had been healthy and been able to do all I wanted in training the last weeks, I would do both the races. But as things are now, I will only do 1 of them.
Great. Thank you very much, Andreas, and good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Bye. And after Andreas, we have EMIL Persson. Can you hear us, Emil?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello. The winning streak in Ski Classics just goes on. You had another successful weekend in Italy and Marcialonga. What do you say about that race? 1.5 week afterwards.
It was a really good race. So satisfied with that race. We did a really good race to the whole team.
You've been holding me home in Östersund now for about a week. What has been the focus parts of your training?
Yeah, just get home and get some easy training and recover and like small vacation, you can say. Just haven't thought about like the focus on the training so much, but yeah, been out every day, but nothing much. A few easy day and then started to training now this week.
And how long was the vacation?
Yeah, there was no vacation, but some easy days.
Okay. You will do your 5th start in Jizerska on Sunday, and you have a bit, so to say, mixed results, but you won in 2021. What do you remember from that race?
Yeah, it was a hard race. It's a fun race. The course is, I like the course very, very much because the tough start, the first, what is it, 10-15K with a uphill that often is a high pace, so it's often a small group on the top. Then it's some kilometers with a little bit slower pace than I think when you have gone 30K, there's a really tough uphill where the pace will often go up and the group will split, and then we'll see who's the strongest. And I think that's it's always that what do you say? It's always happening there in Jizerska, so I think it will be the same this year.
Great. So questions to Emil. Anders from SVT, please.
Hej Emil.
Hi.
Jag har förstått att du tog det lite understood you took a little bit easy days after Marcialonga, and then you've been into a training block again. How does the coming weeks look for you after Jizerska and then the coming weeks? What's up for you?
Yeah, my plan is to do Jizerska now and then home and train a lot the coming week until and over Orsa Grand Clit weekend there with double races, and to have a tough training block that days. Then some easy days the weekend before Vasaloppet, then when Shane Wasan is, and hopefully the body will respond well to that and have good feelings the last week and just save up as much energy I can.
We had just Andreas NYGAARD in the press conference before you, and I asked him if RAGDE is going to play some team efforts regarding, since you are so good, and they said that they are probably doing that. Are you prepared for that, and do you think you know what they're gonna do?
Of course, I have a strong team with me, so I think we are well prepared for that, and we know the skiers very well, and like often know a little bit before how they can plan and know where they can plan and so on. So I think the guys with me and I are prepared for that, whatever comes to us.
Okay. Is the whole team going to ski in Jizerska? All the guys that has been in the team so far?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything else, so everybody will be there.
Thank you.
Do we have other questions to Emil? You said when we talked a couple of days ago that you will travel to the Czech Republic on Friday. What will the 2 days in the Czech Republic look like before the race?
Yeah, we will go the first 10K on Saturday and the last 15K, the short loop there, just to get to know the course and the conditions, and testing skis there, and yeah, that's all we do on Saturday, and then eat and stay on the bed and focus on preparing to the race on Sunday.
You're in the start list for the double polling sprint on Friday evening, the Orlen Benzina sprint. Will you go it?
Don't have to stress that much from the flight, so
I think we lost you.
We will see, but I think we will manage to do it though.
Okay, and what is the reason? Why do you want to go that race?
Yeah, I went it last year for the first time, and I liked it. It's just flat for like 3 minutes and do it 2 times, so nice to like push the body and get some intervals and to activate all the speed and the muscles, and so I felt I had good feelings after that just last year. So, and of course it's always fun to race. It's a fun sprint. It's publicum and a really good atmosphere there.
And how important is it to win? I mean, you have this winning streak.
Yeah, not that important to win on Friday's sprint. My main goal is the Sunday race, so that's more important.
Great. So, do we have any final questions for Emil? Yes, Anders.
Yeah, one more. The Grand Classics special prize, is that something that triggers you, or is it the yellow jersey and preparing for Vasaloppet that is their main focus?
Yeah, it will be, if I have chance on that, that's trigger me, of course. It's a really big prize, and that would be really nice. So, but of course you have to take every race for themselves and focus on do them the best that I can. I can't focus on like, oh, I had a really good chance to take that prize now. I just have to focus on do the Jizerska as best as I can, and hopefully I get away with a win then.
Good luck for that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Emil, and good luck on Friday and Sunday then.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. And next up, we have Ida Dahl, Team ENGCON. Hello, Ida.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Great. You had a great start of the season with 4 victories in a row, and then you were 3rd in Prato Piazza, and then you missed La Diagonela, and then you were back again for Marcialonga when you were 4th. Can you take us through your Marcialonga?
Yeah, it was very, very hard from the start, as I thought it was going to be. So yeah, I struggled really hard the first like 10-15 Ks. Then it got a little bit better. So that was nice that that my body felt better along the race.
When did you take the decision to go Marcialonga?
It was on Saturday, I would say, the day before. So it was quite uncertain the whole week.
And how has the time after Marcialonga been? Have you been able to training the way you want to do, or have you done any changes in the plan?
Yeah, of course, I took it very easy when I got home. I mean, I felt that my recovery was really bad. So I took a few days with first non-training and then some easy training. But now I've been back in full training for a couple of days, and it feels better and better. So yeah.
Now Jizerska 50 is coming up. You were reigning champion from 2022, and then you were just a second behind Lina Korsgren the year before. What are your feelings getting into this weekend?
I'm just really looking forward. So I hope I have a good feeling in my body, and yeah, I really like the race. It's a beautiful race, so it's going to be fun.
When will you travel to the Czech Republic?
We are going tomorrow.
Okay. So questions to Ida. Anders from SVT, please.
Hey, Ida.
Hey.
We were a little bit worried when we heard that you were doing Marcialonga so soon after the COVID. Is it something that you still feel, or is it, you said that it's getting better and better? How's your body right now?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm not like where I was when I'm at my best, but yeah, it really feels that for every day the recovery gets better and I get a better feeling. So, but the first days after Marcialonga, I was really tired, and the first sessions I did was very easy, but I really felt that the recovery was bad. So yeah, I have just tried to really listen to my body and take it easy.
Okay, that sounds good. You will start ahead of the men this year, and last year, as I remember, it was some decisive points when the men came and you tried to attack and got loose, and then you attacked again in the hills. Is it something that you're calculating with for this year?
Yes, for now the guys will catch us up before the sprint, I think. So of course things gonna happen when the guys catches us up. It always do, and I think every one of us girls is gonna try to catch up with them. So yeah, it will be a special race in that way.
Thank you, and hope you recover fully until Sunday.
Thank you.
Do we have other questions? Yes, Ine.
Hi there.
Hey.
Who is your biggest competitors in Jizerska, do you think?
I think MAGNI has been really strong. So, I mean, after Marcialonga, I think she will be the biggest threat, of course. Then Fleten gets back also. So, yeah, she is, of course, going to be very strong. She always is. So, and Astrid, I don't know if she's going, but if she is also a strong competitor. But for now, maybe Fleten and MAGNI.
Do you have some tactic on Sunday? Have you thought about it?
No, I have nothing clear yet. But as we said before, the guys is going to catch us up, and when they do, things always happen. So of course, every one of us is going to try to keep up with them. So yeah.
And you are also in the start list at the Friday sprint. Are you going to compete it?
Yeah, of course. I think it's a really fun competition, and yeah, a really good atmosphere, and yeah, so the whole team is gonna go.
Do you have some goal in the race, or just for fun?
On Friday?
Yes.
No, it's more for fun, and I don't know. I've always done it, so yeah, why stop now?
Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you.
Do we have other questions to Ida? Olof, please.
Hey, Ida.
Hey.
With some distance to the Tour de Ski, how do you feel about that experience?
It was fun, so I'm really happy I tried it.
You don't regret doing it since you got sick in January?
No, I don't think that was the reason that I got sick. So no, not so far.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, the fight for the yellow bib is really hard right now. Magni is 15 points ahead of you, and Jenny Larsson is 136 behind you, if I count right. What is the goals for the second half of the season for you? Is it the yellow bib or is it any special race?
Overall, it is the yellow bib, of course, but then Vasaloppet is the biggest goal for the season, and I really hope to have a really good day then. And I think if you do have a good day on Vasaloppet, you are always also a very strong competitor for the yellow bib.
I mean, do you do any special training now just to prepare specially for Vasaloppet?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you think of Vasaloppet and maybe starting to do a little bit longer sessions and so on. So yeah, I definitely is trying to prepare for Vasaloppet as the main goal.
And I mean, then it's a lot of competitions now. We have Jizerska this weekend, and then we have 2 competitions in Orsa, and then it's Tjejvasan the weekend before Vasaloppet. Will you do all of them, or will you choose any of these races?
No, I will go all of them.
And I mean, for Sunday's race, if you should choose some specific parts of the course, is there any more important parts of the race than the other ones?
Yeah, of course. As we said, when the guys catches us up is always an important part. So, but then also after sprint, when the course gets a little bit tougher, there are parts where I think that I can be very strong. So we will see. I think everything depends on how the body feels for the day and how the skis are and everything like that. So yeah, I think I will have like different plans, but I would say when the guys catches us up and maybe up to the second climb is 2 important parts.
And when do you decide the tactics? Is that before the race or during the race?
Both, I would say. I mean, you always have different plans on what you're gonna do in different situations, but then you also have to be like in the game when you have started the races and like see how everything develops and be able to take quick decisions.
Great. Do we have any final questions for Ida? If not, thank you very much, Ida, and good luck on Friday and Sunday then.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. And we will have the next one is KATI ROIVAS.
Hello.
Hello, Kati. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
You've been top 6 in all 4 races in January, and that are your best 4 results so far in your ski classics career. What is your explanation of the start of this year?
I would say I just had a really good training season, and it's only my 2nd full season in ski classics, so I think the first full year was a lot of like learning and error. It's long races, so a lot can happen, and also last year I had the injury when I started the season, so now it was the first year that I was fully able to focus on the long distance training and get a good training without any major issues.
And what has this success meant to you? I mean, being 4th in one race, for instance, what does it mean to you?
Of course, it's really motivating to see that the top girls are not that far. Of course, there is still, I feel like they are still in another level than me, but of course, it's really motivating to see that the work is paying off. And I believe that I can still develop and work on my weaknesses. So
the weekend you will do your debut in Jizerska. Will you try the whole course before the race, or I mean, how will you prepare the last days before the race?
Yeah, that's right. We are actually traveling just on Friday, so I won't have time to do the whole course. So I guess I'll just ski some crucial points and maybe watch the race on the Ski Classics play and try to learn more about the course.
I mean, does it affect the tactics when you haven't skied the whole race before? I mean, how much of a disadvantage, if there are any disadvantages, not to skied it before?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's always nice to know the course fully and like kind of know the places where the differences are made. But I think I just like, you can always make so many tactics for the race, but it usually never turns out the way you imagine. So I don't think it's so big disadvantage to not know the course fully.
Great. So do we have any questions to Kati? Leandro from Pro X Skiing, please.
Hello, Kati.
Hello.
Women are starting before the men on Sunday. Do you think it's big? It will be important for the women to catch up with the men?
Yeah, of course, it will affect on the tactics somewhat. And like Ida said, it will be a crucial point when the men catch us. And it will certainly break the group. So you have to be awake when that happens.
And your best results this season was a 4th place set in Engadin La Diagonela. What do you think you need to improve to get your first podium at Ski Classics?
I really think that I need to improve my finish, and there is a lot of work on my technique also. So I think I can become much more efficient on my skiing once I get to work on those points.
And in between Marcialonga and Jizerska now, we have 2 weeks break from Ski Classics. How was your training? It was to maintain the form, or are you building for any particular race this season?
Yeah, I actually got a little sick after getting back home, so I had to take some extra days off, and I didn't get maybe as many long trainings in than I wanted to, but we'll see how it goes on Sunday.
Okay, thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Do we have other questions? I mean, you are 4th in the fight for the yellow bib right now, 283 points behind leading MAGNI SMEDÅS. What is the main focus for the rest of the season?
I think it's just to try to maintain a good form and fight for good positions as well as I can. I don't have any like a specific race in mind that is above the others. Of course, the Grand Classics are really important for me and for the team, so I would like to do well on those. But I don't have like a one specific placement goal or something like that in mind.
And what will the last days before the race look like? You told us a bit before. It was traveling now, so how will you spend the next days before the race?
Yeah, well, I will do some training still at home tomorrow, and then traveling on Friday. Easy training on Friday evening, and then just the basic before the race, pre-race, and the ski test on Saturday. So.
Great. So good luck on Sunday's race then. Thank you very much, Kati.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And then now we have Sandra SCHÜTZOVÁ of VLTAVA Fund Ski Team. Hello, Sandra.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
You had a really stable start of the season. All results so far between 9 and 14. What can you say about the beginning of season 14 of Ski Classics?
Yeah, I think it was fine, but I wanted to be in top 10, of course, and it's close. It was close. Yeah.
Yeah, and you were ninth in Pustertaler, your best performance so far. What did it mean to you to be, I mean, have your first top 10 finish in Ski Classics?
Yeah, it was my first top 10 because I was 11th in last year in Jizerska, and yeah, it was fine for me, and I wanted more in next races. Yeah.
I mean, we've asked Fabian before about the importance of Jizerska. You will do your second start of Jizerska. I mean, how important is Jizerska for you as a Czech skier?
I think it's really important because I like competing in Czech Republic, and yeah, it's nice because competing in our country is always important, I think. Yeah.
Do we have any questions to Sandra? Anders from SVT, please.
Hello, Sandra.
Hello.
Can you tell the viewers in Sweden something about yourself that would like them to know when they see you skiing?
I don't know. Maybe hi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's my first season in Ski Classics, and yeah, I don't know.
Where do you live, and who's your trainer, and what training group do you train with, and so forth?
Yeah, I live in Jelemnice. It's small town, 1 hour by car from Jizerska, and my coach is Martin Vrabec, and he's husband from Eva Vrabcová and VLTAVA, maybe you know. And most of the time I have to train alone, and yeah, it's difficult. Maybe it will be better train more in group.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Do we have other questions to Sandra? I mean, you're 10th now in the fight for the yellow bib, but what is the focus and the goal for you for this season?
For this season, I wanted to be in top 10 in overall, and yeah, and I wanted to be in top 6 in Jizerska. Yeah.
Okay, and what will be the goal after? Do you have any specific goal after this weekend, after Jizerska weekend? What is the main focus for that for you then?
I think I don't have a main goal after Jizerska. Maybe Vasalopet as everybody. Yeah.
Great. So, do we have any final questions? If not, we thank you, Fabian and Sandra, very much, and we thank all of you very much, and we look forward to Sunday's race on Grand Classics in Jizerska 50, and also, of course, the sprint on Friday evening, which is broadcasted on or streamed on SC Play. So thank you very much for today, and goodbye, and see you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.